That's why. Have you ever been in a new relationship and it just felt so good, and then it got old? Have you ever been on your way to a new work environment and you felt so exhilarated and excited in the beginning, and then it stopped giving you that feeling? Well, that's because as we watch you, and we watch all of you, as we see humans in their fantastic exploration and expansion, we notice that the majority of the creation that you do as you create your empires and your relationships and the structures of your life, whether it is personal relationships or global relationships, whether it is monetary empires, whether it is subjects of understanding the philosophy of the world, as you are building these magnificent physical structures and creations, the majority of your work happens before you gather the first board or the first brick or the first computer or the first computer programmer. In other words, the majority of your creation happens before you begin to take any physical action, because there is a vibrational structure, a vibrational grid, a vibrational creation that takes place. So we see our greatest value to you here today, and the greatest work that we do as we are playing with you, is to convince you of the reality of this vibrational beingness that has amassed and that is real, but that may be vibrating at a frequency where you can't yet see it, hear it, smell it, taste it, touch it, and that's why you don't believe it. It is so much easier to believe what's manifested than to believe what's pre-manifested. And this pre-manifestation, it is the precursor to all of this magnificent expansion. If we can convince you that you were source energy before you came into this body, and that the larger part of you still is source energy even though you're in this body. If we can convince you that as you explore the details of your life that you cause a vibrational expansion, and that the larger part of you immediately takes that expansion, is that expansion, has become that expansion, and is calling you to it. And if we can convince you that the way you feel is your evidence, in the moment evidence, of whether you're going with the expansion or whether you're holding back a little bit. To the degree that you feel bad, you're holding back. To the degree that you feel good, you're going with it. And if we can convince you that if you will just chill out a little, if you will stop looking at reality and letting whatever it is control your every thought, if you will allow yourself the hopeful conclusion that maybe there is a vortex, and maybe my source is within it, and maybe if I just release thoughts, that source will call me into vibrational alignment, then it is our promise to you that your vortex will train your vibration upward. Because in the absence of resistant thought, you practice a non-resistant, totally allowing thought. And the more often you do that, the more easy it is to do it, until in time, and we're talking about a very short time, you will become a vibrational match to the frequency of your source. And when that happens, when you spend more time in this vortex, do you believe there's a vortex? Can you sort of kind of hear it? You get what we're talking about? You have to accept it. You're good, but you haven't figured out how to scrape enough dirt together to launch it into orbit. You gotta know there's something else going on. And as you acknowledge that there is this vortex of creation, and as you acknowledge that it is a vibrational frequency, and as you accept the reality of it and feel your way into it again and again and again, and once you're in it, you milk it. You stay there as long as you can until it's more natural for you to be in that frequency than to be in a resistant frequency that doesn't feel so good. What will begin to happen to you is you will begin to see and hear and smell and taste and touch inside the vortex. In other words, we're not saying to you that everything that manifests is outside the vortex. We're saying to you that you got to be in the vortex for the things you want to manifest. You got to be in the vortex for the things that you want to consistently and profoundly and chronically begin to manifest. You've got to believe you've got to understand your frequency. And the only way that you can understand your frequency is through your emotions. Do you get that?